My little sister once called me our family's personal ATM as a joke. I laughed it off. The day my parents used my credit card to ditch my partnership celebration and blow $3 grand at a trashy beach club. Yeah, the joke died right there. The wind was whipping across the rooftop of the spire. Manhattan laid out under me like a screensaver. It was 4 in the afternoon, a few hours before the big event, and I was fussing with the flowers on the head table like a crazy person. White and blush peonies, flown in from Holland, sitting in crystal vases that cost more than my first car. That table was dead center in the VIP area, right where Arthur Sterling, managing partner of Sterling, Bright and Low, would stand to give his speech. My speech. My name is Eva Ross, 34, corporate attorney. In a few hours, I was supposed to be announced as the youngest partner in the firm's history. I had 2 thick envelopes in my purse, and they were heavier than they had any right to be. One held a fully funded retirement plan for my parents, enough to cover the European river cruises my mom had been circling in catalogs for years, and the vintage Corvette my dad stalked on Craigslist every Sunday morning like it was a rare animal. The other was a full ride package for my younger sister, Brittany, tuition, housing, and stipend for a top fashion school in Paris she'd been drooling over since she was 16. I'd spent 3 years grinding, saving, juggling bonuses, and billable hours to pull that off. My dream was simple. Stand up there, get my partnership, turn to my family, and hand them their dream lives. Here, I imagined saying, you sacrificed for me. Let me return the favor. Cute, right? My phone buzzed in my hand, then buzzed again. I figured it was traffic updates or my mom asking for parking directions. Instead, my stomach did a full drop tower ride. Bank alert. American Express supplementary card ending in 4782 charged $3,000 at Pink Flamingo Beach Club. Transaction approved. Before my brain even processed that, a second notification slid in. Quiet healing space at the Pink Flamingo Beach Club. If you've never been there, picture the loudest, stickiest, most neon trash heap you can imagine. Plastic flamingos, watered-down liquor in plastic cups, fake palm trees, and drunk 20-somethings screaming along to EDM at 4 in the afternoon. Meditation retreat? Not exactly. The lawyer part of my brain flipped on like a switch. Timestamps, amount, location. The charge had gone through 13 minutes earlier, which meant they'd been there for a while, which meant they'd known for hours they weren't coming, which meant they waited until the card swiped, the bottle service hit the table, and the money was locked in before texting their panic attack story. This wasn't a crisis. This was a choice. Miss Ross? I turned. Philippe, the manager, hovered a few feet away, all French politeness and quiet pity. He'd watched me baby that head table for the last hour. Would you like us to adjust the family table? He asked. We can move it, make things more discreet. I looked at the setup. 8 chairs, perfect view. A little sign that said, reserved, family in elegant script. If my managing partner saw me sitting in the middle of my own party, with 8 empty chairs around me, he'd draw his own conclusions. Workaholic with no personal life, no roots, no one reel in her corner. I swallowed hard. Leave everything exactly where it is, I said. Same flowers, same layout, just lose the family sign. Philippe's eyes softened. Of course, Miss Ross. He walked away. I looked down at my phone again, thumb hovering over the banking app. Screw it. I opened Instagram instead. It took roughly 30 seconds to find Brittany's story. There she was, 26, blonde extensions, lashes for days, holding two neon blue drinks that glowed under black lights. Behind her, a sea of plastic flamingos and people in swimsuits they had no business wearing in public. "Escaped my stiff lawyer sister's party," she screamed over the music. "Best Friday night ever! Thanks for the card, sis." She laughed, spun the camera to show 8 or 9 of her friends, all with matching drinks, all shrieking like hyenas. Caption: "Choosing joy over pressure. Your Freedom Friday." I watched it twice. Each time the hurt burned away a little more, leaving something colder and sharper in its place. Contempt. I didn't cry. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but I refused to give that rooftop, that day, that much power. Instead, I hit a different contact. Nana. My grandmother picked up on the second ring. "Evangeline," she barked. That's my full government name. "Tell me why your mother just posted from that godforsaken flamingo place when she's supposed to be at your party." "You saw," I whispered. "Half my former students sent it to me," she snapped. "The pink flamingo is where idiot teenagers used fake IDs in 1995. Your parents are 58, not frat boys." "You saw?" I whispered. "Half my former students sent it to me," she snapped. "The pink flamingo is where idiot teenagers used fake IDs in 1995. Your parents are 58, not frat boys." I laughed, a small broken sound. "They charged $3,000 on my card," I said. "Told me Brittany was having a panic attack and needed a quiet meditation space." Nana went silent for a second. Then, "Put on your lipstick and stand up straight. I'm putting on my St. John suit. I'll be there in an hour." "You don't have to—" "Evangeline Ross," she cut in. "You do not stand alone at the head table of your own success while your family is chugging blue Kool-Aid out of fish bowls. I'll be there." Click. Phone call over. And just like that, I remembered. My family didn't start and end with the people who shared my last name. 45 minutes later, Nana stepped onto the rooftop like she owned the building. Gray St. John suit, pearls, hair set like she just stepped out of a magazine titled "Don't Play With Me." Former high school principal for 4 decades. She'd made grown men cry in parent-teacher conferences. She kissed my cheek, then looked me over. "Eyes are clear. Makeup is intact," she said. "Good. You can rage later. Tonight, we perform." "Yes, ma'am." "Where's this famous family table?" I showed her. She looked at the place cards, the peonies, the perfect view of the skyline. "Leave it," she said. "We'll fill it." "Fill it with who?" I asked. She gave me a side eye. "You have a team, don't you? The ones who actually show up for you? Call them." So I did. "Sam," I said, calling my assistant, "bring every junior who's ever pulled an all-nighter for me up to the VIP level. Now." "VIP?" she squeaked. "That's partners only." "Sam, now." 10 minutes later, the elevator doors opened and out spilled my people. Samantha Miller, my ride-or-die assistant. Jenkins, the over-caffeinated first year. Davis, Brooks, Vance, the crew who had practically lived inside conference rooms with me for months. They stopped dead when they saw the head table. Jenkins said. "I think we're lost. This looks expensive." "You're exactly where you're supposed to be," I told them. "My family bailed. So tonight, you're my family. Sit." Sam took one look at my face, then the empty chairs, then the banking alert I showed her. Her jaw locked so hard I heard it click. "Say less," she said. "We clean up nice." By 8:30, the rooftop looked like a movie. Fairy lights, live jazz, skyline glowing, partners and clients everywhere. My team was at the head table, laughing nervously. trying not to look impressed by the champagne labels. Right on cue, the elevator doors slid open, and there he was, shorter than you'd expect. Silver hair, navy suit that probably cost more than my student loans, eyes sharp enough to cut glass. "Ms. Ross," he said, shaking my hand. "Big night. Thank you for coming, Mr. Sterling." He glanced at the head table. "I was hoping to meet your family," he said. "You talk about them a lot. Where are they sitting?" My heart did a weird flip. I opened my mouth, fully expecting nonsense to fall out. "Good evening, Mr. Sterling." Nana appeared at my elbow like she'd been summoned by God himself. "I'm Beatrice Ross," she said, extending her hand. "Eva's grandmother, former principal at St. Catherine's Prep. The woman who made sure this one," she patted my arm, "understood that excellence is not optional and commitments are honored." Arthur's eyes lit up. "Ah," he said, "so you're the original force of nature." "I'll accept that," Nana said. As for her parents, they're dealing with a situation that required their immediate attention. Unfortunate timing, but not relevant to Eva's worth. I'm here. And I guarantee you, sir, you're looking at the root of everything good you see in her. There was a beat of silence. Then Arthur laughed. A real laugh, not lawyer polite. "Ms. Ross, I already liked your granddaughter," he said. "Now I see exactly where she gets it." He clapped me lightly on the shoulder. "You're a lucky woman, Eva. Don't ever forget it." "I won't," I said, and meant it. He moved off to greet clients. My legs almost gave out. Nana pinched my arm. "Breathe," she ordered. "You're fine. You handled that like a partner." My phone buzzed again. This time, a notification from Instagram. "At Lux Lifestyle, Laura tagged you in a video." I glanced over my shoulder and spotted her. A polished brunette at the next table, phone up at just the right angle. Influencer radar. Of course, I should have been annoyed. Instead, something in me went, "Good. Let them watch." "Eva," Samantha whispered, "they're ready for your speech." I walked to the little podium, glass of champagne in hand, heart pounding, and looked out over the crowd. Partners, clients, my team at the head table. Nana watching me like I was about to graduate all over again. "First of all," I started, "thank you all for being here tonight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. About 4 hours ago, I almost canceled this whole thing." A ripple went through the crowd. "I got a text that my family couldn't make it. Emergency. They needed quiet healing space." I used air quotes. People chuckled politely. I was hurt. I thought, maybe I just push this back. Maybe we reschedule. Then, I held up my phone. My bank notified me of a $3,000 charge at the Pink Flamingo Beach Club. A couple people near the back snorted. Apparently, I wasn't the only one who knew that place. 10 alcohol towers, private DJ, bottle service, and an Instagram live with my sister yelling about escaping her stiff lawyer sister. My voice stayed light, but you could feel the temperature drop. I let that hang for a second. "I realized something," I said. "Blood is not the only thing that defines family. Sometimes the people who share your DNA are the ones running up your card at a beach club, while the people who truly ride for you," I nodded toward my table, "are up here early, fixing slides, catching typos, and showing up on time." Silence. Then I said, "So I decided this. This head table isn't reserved for people who share my last name. It's reserved for people who share my vision." For a second, nobody moved. Then Samantha started clapping. Jenkins joined in. Within a heartbeat, The entire rooftop was applauding. A couple people even cheering. I caught the influencer's phone still pointed my way, recording everything. Good. Let the world see the whole picture. The next morning, I woke up to my phone vibrating off the nightstand. 17 missed calls. 40-something texts. My anxiety spiked, but when I saw all the names, Mom, Dad, Brittany, I relaxed in a really dark way. I ignored them and opened Instagram first. The influencer from the party, at Lux Lifestyle Laura, had posted. She'd stitched clips of my speech, me in a black silk dress, skyline glowing behind me, talking about blood versus vision, with my sister's pink flamingo livestream. Split screen, class versus chaos. Caption: when your family ditches your partnership party to party on your credit card. This isn't self-care. It's trash behavior. Rooting for the lawyer's sister. Sa class v strash chatter toxic family. Views 417,000 and climbing. Comments were savage. No way I'd ever speak to them again. Thanks for the credit card, sis girl, what? Grandma in the gray suit is the only real family here. How do you choose that dump over a rooftop like this? I watched it once, then twice. I should have felt exposed. Instead, I felt seen. My phone rang again. Mom. This time I picked up. Eva, she burst out. This video is everywhere. Your father's phone is blowing up. My book club. I didn't post it, I said calmly. An influencer did. I didn't send it to her. I didn't tag her. I didn't control anything about it. Well, you need to make her take it down, Mom snapped. Do you know how bad this makes us look? I took a slow sip of my coffee. Pretty similar to how it felt when you skipped my party to buy 10 booze towers at a beach club on my card, I said. That is not the same. You texted me that Brittany was having a panic attack and needed meditation space, I cut in. The charge hit the same time she was live on Instagram screaming about escaping me. That's not an emergency, Mom. That's just crappy behavior. You don't talk to your mother like this, she shot back. We're your parents. After everything we've done for you. You mean existing? I said. Because for the last 3 years, I've been doing everything for you. Silence. Look, I said finally, we clearly have very different views on what happened, so here's what we're gonna do. Next Saturday, 7 p.m., you, Dad, and Brittany come to my place. I have something I was planning to give you at the party. We'll talk then. A gift? Her tone shifted instantly, anger giving way to curiosity. What kind of gift? The kind you'll want to hear about in person, I said. Can you make it? Or is the flamingo calling again? We'll be there, she said stiffly. Great. See you then. I hung up and texted Sam. Me. Can you pull together every wire transfer, rent payment, credit card statement, and Pink Flamingo charge into one file? I need it by Friday. Sam. Already printed and tabbed. Blue folder on your desk. Also, I ordered an industrial paper shredder to your apartment. Feels like that kind of meeting? Yeah, she got me. By Saturday night, my dining room looked less like a home and more like a courtroom. On the table, one big blue folder, thick with documents, 2 envelopes, the retirement plan, and the Paris scholarship. The brand new shredder on the floor next to my chair, plugged in and humming quietly. Nana sat at the head of the table, glass of red wine in hand, back straight like a judge waiting for the hearing to start. At 7:03, the intercom buzzed. Ms. Ross, your parents and sister are here. Send them up. I opened the door before they knocked. Mom swept in first, dressed like she'd tried to copy. Nana sat at the head of the table, glass of red wine in hand, back straight like a judge waiting for the hearing to start. At 7:03, the intercom buzzed. "Ms. Ross, your parents and sister are here. Send them up." I opened the door before they knocked. Mom swept in first, dressed like she'd tried to copy some Pinterest version of fancy. Dad followed, stiff in a button-up he clearly hated. Brittany trailed behind, glued to her phone, smoky eye, pout perfected. "This building is so cold," Mom sniffed, looking around at my minimalist living room. "You need more color, some pillows, maybe a scented candle." "Hi, Mom," I said. "Dining room's this way." They stepped in, stopped dead when they saw Nana. "Mother," Mom blurted out, instantly defensive. "I didn't know you'd be here." "If you had," Nana said dryly, "you might have dressed better. Sit." They sat. Brittany plopped down, half scrolling. "Put the phone away," I said. "Relax," she muttered. "I'm listening." Nana didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. "Brittany," she said, "you either put that phone screen down on the table right now, or you walk out and miss whatever your sister invited you here for." Brittany glanced at our parents for backup. None came. Mom was too busy eyeballing the envelopes like they were wrapped in money. With a loud sigh, Brittany slapped the phone down. "Happy," she muttered. "Ecstatic," Nana said. "Carry on, Evangeline." I stayed standing. "I invited you here because what happened last Friday wasn't a small misunderstanding," I said. "It was a line in the sand. And I'm done pretending it was anything else." Mom jumped in immediately. "We already told you we're sorry you're upset, but that video made us look so bad," she said. "You have no idea how humiliating it's been. Your father's golf friends—" "Nobody edited anything," I cut her off. "They just put what you actually did next to what you could have done. People are judging based on facts. So are we." Nana lifted her glass slightly. "Facts," she repeated. "Let's hear them." I picked up the first envelope and held it up. "You see this?" I asked. "This is what I was planning to give you at the party. It's a fully set-up retirement plan. Cruises, trips, investments, your dream travel life funded by me." Mom's eyes got huge. Dad leaned forward. "And this," I lifted the second envelope, "is for Brittany. Full-ride scholarship to a top fashion school in Paris. Tuition, housing, stipend. 4 years. A real career in the field you say you love." Brittany gasped. "No way," she breathed. "You're lying." "You can read it in a minute," I said. "But first, context." I laid both envelopes gently on the table. Then opened the blue folder. "In the last 3 years," I said, pulling out the first stack of papers, "I've transferred $250,000 to you three." Mom opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. "That can't be right," she said weakly. "We never asked for—" "You did," I said. "Sometimes directly, mostly with guilt. Here's your rent, Britt. $50,400 for an apartment you needed for your brand, where you made a grand total of $2,100 last year." "I'm building a following," she started. "You're building excuses," I said. "Here's the credit card, $47,000 in charges, spa weekends, handbags, brunches, emergency. Sephora hauls." I flipped another sheet. "And here's the pink flamingo, $3,000 even. VIP cabana, 10 alcohol towers, private DJ. Charged exactly 13 minutes before you texted me that you were at a quiet meditation space." Mom's face flushed red. "We were under a lot of stress," she said. "Brittany's anxiety." Nana snorted. "Her anxiety looked just fine while she was screaming, 'Thanks for the credit card, sis,' into a camera," she said. I saw the video. She was anxious about missing happy hour, that's all. Brittany burst into tears. "This is so messed up," she sobbed. "You're blowing this way out of proportion." I picked up the retirement envelope. "You're right," I said. "I've been letting you get away with this for years. That ends tonight." I slid the paperwork out, thick with cruise itineraries, account numbers, plans I'd set up with my financial advisor. "This is 30 years of travel," I said. "Paid for. No worries. Just fun." Mom reached for it, but I stepped back. "And you chose cheap booze and plastic flamingos over it." Before anyone could move, I fed the booklet into the shredder. The machine roared to life, chewing through glossy paper. Strips spilled into the bin like confetti. Mom made a choked noise. "What are you doing?" she cried. "Ava!" I didn't look at her. I picked up the second envelope. "This is Paris," I said. 4 years of real work, real training, real doors opened." "Please," Brittany sobbed. "Ava, I'm sorry, okay? I messed up. I'll post an apology. You called me an ATM," I said quietly. "You threw a party to celebrate not having to see." Mom made a choked noise. "What are you doing?" she cried. "Ava!" I didn't look at her. I picked up the second envelope. "This is Paris," I said. 4 years of real work, real training, real doors opened." "Please," Brittany sobbed. "Eva, I'm sorry, okay? I messed up. I'll post an apology. You called me an ATM," I said quietly. "You threw a party to celebrate not having to see me, and you made sure I paid for it." The acceptance letter slid into the shredder. The machine shrieked. Brittany did too. "No! No! No! No!" She lunged toward it like she could pull the pieces back out. Dad grabbed her shoulders. "Ava, that was cruel," he said hoarsely. "You didn't have to." "I did," I said. "I needed you to understand that every choice has a cost. You chose the flamingo. It's expensive." Silence. I pulled out another sheet. "This is notice that your supplementary card is canceled," I said. "Effective immediately. No more charges, no more emergencies." Another sheet. "And this is notice to your landlord that I am no longer guaranteeing Brittany's lease. You have 30 days to figure it out." "You can't do this," Mom whispered. "We're your family." "Family shows up," I said. "Last Friday, you picked bottle service over my biggest night. You didn't even lie well. You waited until the charge cleared to send your fake panic attack text. You wanted my money, not my company." Nana set her wine glass down. "She's right," Nana said quietly. "You three had a golden ticket and traded it for plastic cups and bad music. That's not love, Deborah. That's greed and laziness." Mom glared at her. "You always take her side," she snapped. "I take the side of the person paying their own bills," Nana replied. "You're almost 60. Act like it." I pointed toward the door. "This is where things change," I said. "You're adults. You're capable of working, getting roommates, downsizing, applying for real jobs. I'm done funding your refusal to grow up." Mom stood, shaking. "You'll regret this," she said, eyes bright with anger. "Money won't hug you when you're old, when you're alone." "Maybe not," I said, "but neither did you." I opened the door. "Good night," I said, "and good luck." They left, Brittany crying, Dad silent, Mom muttering about how ungrateful I was. When the door clicked shut, my legs finally gave out. Nana caught me before I hit the floor. "You did the hard thing," she murmured, holding me while my whole body shook. "You stopped letting them treat you like a walking debit card. I'm proud of you, Evangeline." I laughed and cried at the same time. "It hurts," I admitted. "Of course it does," she said. Surgery hurts too. Doesn't mean the tumor should stay. A month later, my alarm went off to the best sound in the world. Nothing. No overdraft notifications, no fraud alerts from mystery charges at random boutiques, no frantic texts about bills, just my own quiet. My savings account was, for the first time in years, actually climbing. I wasn't bleeding money keeping 3 adults afloat. I made my coffee, sat at the kitchen island, and pulled up my email. Nana had sent a link with the subject line, "You'll enjoy this." It was a local online paper from my parents' town. Headline, "Local family cut off by heartless lawyer daughter seeks help." I actually laughed. The article painted them as victims abandoned over a tiny disagreement. At the end was a GoFundMe link labeled, "Help us rebuild our dream retirement after our daughter destroyed our gifts." Goal, $50,000. Raised, $340. The comments were brutal. "Pretty sure we all saw the TikTok, Linda. You ditched a rooftop partner party for the Pink Flamingo LMAO. Ma'am, this is not the flex you think it is." I closed the tab, feeling oddly free. At work, things were different too. The viral video had turned into a class versus trash meme. Clients I'd never met in person were suddenly quoting my line about same bloodline versus same vision. A partner from the London office emailed to say, "If you ever want to come to our side of the pond, there's a spot for you. We like how you handle pressure." That afternoon, I interviewed a law student named Sarah for an intern position. She reminded me of myself at 23. Sharp, hungry, a little nervous. At the end of the interview, I handed her one of my old case books. "Look," I said, "people love to talk about blood is thicker than water. What they forget is, you get to choose your circle. I invest in people who show up. You look like someone who shows up. Don't make me regret it." "I won't, Ms. Ross," she said, eyes shining. I believed her. That evening, I met Nana at our favorite Italian spot. She was already there, glass of red waiting, eyes scanning me like a human lie detector. "You look lighter," she said. "I am," I admitted. "My bank account is too." She raised her glass. "To Eva Ross," she said, "who finally stopped trying to buy love and started building a legacy. If you've ever felt like an ATM instead of a daughter, son, or friend, you're not alone." Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you don't miss the next story from Payback Files, where betrayal gets receipts, karma shows up on time, and payback is always paid in full.